Welcome to the Soulfull Sound podcast. I'm your host, Simone Niles, and I hope you enjoy today's Soulfull Sound coaching. This week's episode is all about the power of collective intention. Deepak Chopra says, "Intention is the starting point of every dream. It is the creative power that fulfills all of our needs." I use intention a lot in my practice because I notice that when we set an intention for anything, it guides our thoughts and actions, which are equally important with how we follow through. Intention brings full awareness to our minds and helps to make sure that our actions are fully aligned with what we truly want. And it also makes us more receptive towards achieving our goals. Now, let's not confuse goals with intention. Goals target a specific outcome that is future-based, and often it combines outlines and plans, laying out steps, things that you need to get there. Now, setting a goal is a mental process of left brain thinking, analyzing, and reasoning. And while I'm big on setting goals, I also recognize the importance of what drives them, and that is intention. For example, you may have a goal of making £10,000 per month, but what drives you to make that amount of money? The intention behind it could be something along the lines of, I have peace of mind and I'm free to travel when I want, which makes my heart sing. So again, we're looking at what drives the goal, not the goal itself. In order to look at the power of intention, I'd like to invite you to try on the following perspective, to be receptive and open to possibly a new way of thinking. And this is to understand that everything in life is essentially one. All energy on this vibrational planet that we live on is connected in one form or another. And the foundations of mind and matter is consciousness. Universal consciousness. And universal consciousness is a unified field of energy. So over the years, several studies and research has been done about this unified field, this unified energy field, which connects all matter that exists on the planet. So when you hear that statement, we are all one, it is not just about a want or need to create unity in this world, but also to reflect that energy field that connects all atoms, all molecules, and form as we know it. Now, why am I actually talking about this? Because when we come together and set intentions and focus or meditate on them, we magnify the energy and the power behind them. So setting an intention for yourself is already a powerful practice. So imagine it multiplied. It's like creating a laser-focused energy that strengthens and ripples out into this unified energy field. Now, we see this in action all the time where people come together for a cause, whether it be a Million Man or Woman March or a peaceful protest of some kind. Now, the coming together is an important part of the process, and coupled with the same intention can reap potent results. Take, for example, the research done in the Maharishi effect, which in 1960, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi predicted that 1% of the population practicing the transcendental meditation technique would produce measurable improvements in the quality of life for the whole population. And in this research, what they found was that when 1% of a community practiced the TM program, the Transcendental Meditation Program, that the crime rate was reduced by 16% on average. So imagine how much having 1% of the population coming together in a unified intention could make a difference. Now, TM is normally done for about 20 minutes twice a day. It's really profound rest and relaxation. And people use a mantra to guide their minds to a place of stillness. If you're unfamiliar with transcendental meditation, there's a lot of information out there and classes that you can attend, so I won't go into too much detail about it here. And although I practice meditation myself, I'm also not saying that the only way to focus an intention is through meditation or transcendental meditation. You could use a few different modalities, including sounding, chanting, and so on. In principle, a collective intention could work in your home, starting with you and your husband, wife, or partner, Setting and focusing on a unified intention for your household, as an example, and in many other environments. Imagine gathering 1% of your colleagues at work to collectively impact your work or business, or a community coming together in unison to focus on a specific intention. As Margaret Mead says, never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. So let me see if I can break this down into steps. The first one really would be to set an intention. When you set an intention, phrase it in the present tense because your intention is now, not in the future like a goal. You want to live your intention now because your unconscious mind does not know the difference between today and tomorrow. Leave that for your conscious mind. So here's an example. I am the best version of myself as I serve myself and others. So you've got an intention in place. The next step, step 2, would be to gather your group of willing participants and share that intention, whether it be people at home, at work, in your community, wherever. You gather people who are willing to, experiment with this and share your intention. Step 3, come together at an organized time, whether that's physically or virtually, and focus on your intention through meditating, sounding, chanting, affirmations, or whatever modality you choose for around 20 minutes. If you are using affirmations, you can choose to speak the words of the intention you set. However, with other modalities like sounding and or silent meditation, you just need to hold your intention in mind. Apart from the countless bits of research being done around this topic, I have found it to be a powerful tool in my business and life in general. From setting specific intentions with my team and focusing on them, to students setting intentions when learning and sending a healing intention, for example, to a specific person or part of of the world. So like anything you want to do well, you must practice. Start by setting daily or weekly intentions for yourself and spend a few moments focusing on it throughout the day and notice the impact it creates in your life. It can be simple to implement, and yet the rewards are countless. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you've given you some ideas around setting an intention for yourself, certainly setting an intention in a collective manner, bringing people together in a wonderful way to create beautiful things in the world. Take a step now and let's do it together. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please feel free to share it with your friends and remember to subscribe. From my heart to yours, sending you love, healing, and sound wherever you are.